Hello my friends, this is Walter again. You don't have to look at my ugly face today as I tell this story. Thought I'd show you some Dash 8 locomotives. Hello my friends, this is Walter. I'm going to share one of my stories with you today. One of the stories on my website, but I thought I'd bring it to one of my YouTube videos. I wrote this story several years ago. The title of the story is My Friend the Bank Robber. In my years as a railway carman, I encountered a lot of, shall we say, unsavory characters. This is my recollection of one such person. He really seemed to be a nice enough guy when you talked to him, and you would not know he was a bank robber unless of course you asked him, and then he would laughingly tell you about it in detail. This is the story of the time I made friends with a bank robber. I was working one day at the Atlanta Rip Track. I was given a road trip. A road trip, that's what you call having to get in a big truck and go somewhere and repair a rail car. And it was a road trip to the Atlanta Federal Penitentiary. I believe it was David Ellington that I went with that day. I remember looking at the trip sheet and thinking to myself, what in the world would a boxcar be doing in the federal pen? What would it be doing at the federal pen at all? Least of all, one reported to be off-center and requiring our services. On our arrival at the front entrance to the pen, we entered a big chain-link gate covered with razor wire that was right under the guard tower. We were told to follow the road that circled inside the high stone walls of the prison until we got to the big warehouse in the back, and there we would find the boxcar. We did. Soon found the car sitting behind the big loading dock. There were prisoners standing around watching us as we got out to check the rail car. Sure enough, the car was off-center and would have to be jacked up and the trucks rolled out some, the center pin replaced so then they could then pull it from the facility with the train. We got right to work and offloaded the big jacks from the back of the truck with a boom, set them as close as we could to the car. When one of the guards standing around saw that we had to physically lift them around the side of the car, he assigned several prisoners to pitch in and help us. One industrious little man pitched right in and helped us place the blocks as well. And soon we were jacking the car up. The little man was very friendly and asked us a lot of questions and seemed quite interested in the whole job. I asked the little man what was in the boxcar. I learned it was a load of baled cotton. I was smoking a cigarette and saw the little man watching as though he really wanted one. So offered him one, which he declined, saying that the guard wouldn't like it. I told him that I was going to lay my pack of cigarettes down there and leave them, and he was so inclined that he was welcome to take the whole pack if he got a chance to pick them up unnoticed. That seemed to tickle him greatly. I asked the little man what he was in prison for, and he said laughingly, I cleaned out the drive-in window over to the C&S Bank. It dawned on me that the little man didn't know right from wrong, that he was several bricks short of a full load, and he surely didn't have both oars in the water. I noticed that all the prisoners were wearing tan khaki coveralls. I asked the little man about the coveralls and learned that they were made right there in the warehouse by the prisoners, and that the coveralls were sent to prisons all over the country. The little man said, they are nice material, don't you think? That's what we use the cotton for. I commented that they were indeed nice coveralls. I was thinking to myself, wonder why they don't have to wear clothing with black and white stripes on it. The little man disappeared and we were finishing up the job. I checked, and sure enough, the pack of cigarettes was gone. I thought, well, he's somewhere smoking a cigarette. Shortly after a while, this little forklift came zooming down the road past our truck, and I saw that it was the little man going past, looking quite innocent and nonchalant. As he passed our truck, he tossed something inside the driver's window of our truck. I asked Carmen David what that was, and he said, I believe your buddy just tossed a set of new coveralls in the truck for you. As we finished up our work and got ready to climb up in the truck, I saw the little man standing on the loading dock again, waiting for some acknowledgement from me regarding the transaction that had taken place. He was looking at me as if to say, I can still pull the wool over them. Kind of had a twinkle in his eye. We climbed up in the truck. I looked back at him and said, thanks for everything. If you ever get out of here, stay away from the banks. We laughed about the little man on our way back to the train yard. Several weeks later, Carmen David came to pick me up. We were headed back to the federal pen again to fix another boxcar. I climbed in the truck and David looked at me and laughed. I asked, what's so funny? And he asked me, are you going to go over there wearing them coveralls? I'd gotten so used to wearing them at work, I forgot where I got them. I said, nope. You keep the motor running. I'm going to the locker room to change clothes. I sure don't want them thinking I'm one of the inmates. They might want to keep me there. Thanks for listening, my friends.